Good day everyone, and welcome to this tutorial on Google Forms. For those of you who don't know, Google Forms is a versatile tool for creating surveys, quizzes, and forms for data collection. It's free to use, web-based, and integrates seamlessly with other Google services, making it ideal for both personal and professional applications. Now, just like what I've mentioned, this site is completely free to use and can be accessed on your web browser from your Windows or Mac, depending on what you are using. Now, before starting with anything else, I want you to make sure that the browser you are using is completely up to date, and this is so that we will not encounter any errors along the way. Now, let us move forward to accessing Google Forms. All you have to do is to open up your browser or your preferred browser and go to forms.google.com. Press enter. And now, as you can see, it will open up this tab right over here. Now, if this is your first time using Google Forms or Google Chrome, it might require you to sign in using your Google account. If it does, I suggest that you use your main Google account, because how this works is that everything that is created inside Google Forms will be stored inside the Google Drive of the corresponding Google account that you have provided with Google Forms itself. Now, if you do not have an account, you can create one for free. You can also access Google Forms through your Google Drive. And all you have to do is to click on New. And right here you have Google Forms. Now that we know how you can access Google Forms, let us now move forward to creating a new form. By the way, this is what it should look like after the end of this video. Now from here, as you can see, we have the option if you want to click on blank form, which will open up a blank canvas, or from the themes right over here, or the templates. Now to open up more templates, all you have to do is to click on template gallery right over here. And as you can see, it will open up tons of options to choose from. But in today's video, we are going to focus on blank form so that I can show you all the font formatting and the customizations that you can do in Google Forms. So click on blank form right over here. And now as you can see, after you click on it, a blank form will open, ready for you to customize. And from there, let us now move forward to customizing form questions. From here, the first thing that I would like to do is to enter the title and description of our Google Forms, right over here. Here you can add a description of your survey or your Google Forms. Now, another thing that I would like to do when starting a new form is to rename the file of this Google Forms. And all you have to do is to click on this right here in the upper left corner, which says Untitled Form by default, and typing in the name that you would like your file to be, and pressing enter. And now as you can see, we have now successfully renamed the file of our Google Forms. Now, we can proceed to adding questions on our Google Forms. Click on the plus button on the right to add a new question right over here. And as you can see, it adds another question on our Google Forms. Now you can choose the type of question you want from the drop-down menu right over here. As you can see, you got multiple choice, checkboxes, and many more. Now, when it comes to designing the form layout, you can organize your form into sections by clicking on this Add Section button right over here. And now as you can see, we got another section from here. Now, if you want to change the theme, all you have to do is, in order for you to customize the appearance of your form, click the palette icon on the top right corner of the screen right over here, and choose from the available themes or customize your own by selecting colors and fonts right over here. Let's say, for example, I would like the header to be this font. I would like the color to be this one, or you can even choose a header if you want. These are all free to use and is already available on your Google Forms website. Click on Insert. And now as you can see, it changes the header as well as the color to the corresponding theme that you have selected. Now that you have customized your Google Forms, it is now already looking very appealing. Now let us try adding different question types. First is multiple choice, which is set by default, in which it allows respondents to choose one option from a list. As you can see, currently you have option 1. You can add another option, so on and so forth, and you can customize the option as well. Let's say, for example, the question is this one. You can change the option 1 to yes or the option 2 to no. And you can also click on add other so that the respondents can choose to insert another answer that is not from the options right here. You also have checkboxes right over here, in which it allows the respondents to select multiple options from a list. Let us just copy this question right here for a sample. The next type of question is the drop-down, in which it provides a drop-down menu for respondents to choose from. Next, you have short answer and paragraphs right over here. By this one, you can allow your respondents to have open-ended responses, like so. Next, you have linear scale, in which it allows the respondents to rate your questions on a scale of, let's say, for example, 1 to 5, like so. Now, for other question types, you also have file upload, in which they can upload files directly from their computer or Google Drive. You have multiple choice grid. You got checkbox grid. You can allow them to insert date, time, and many more. But in most case scenario, the previous types of questions that I have discussed to you are the ones that you are going to use more frequently. Now, let us move forward to setting up quizzes. The first thing that you would like to do is to click on gear icon on the top right to open up the settings right here. In some cases, you have the gear icon, but if you do not have the gear icon, click on the settings button right over here. Then, as you can see right here, you have make this a quiz. You need to click on this one. And as you can see, you can choose if you want to release the grades immediately after each submission or later on after manual review. Now you also have the respondent settings right over here. You have missed questions, correct answers, and point values. Now you can change the point value. Let's say, for example, I want each question to be 5 points worth. I will just change this number to 5. As you can see, each of the question will now be worth 5 points. Now that you have set up your quiz, let us now move forward on how you can share the form. All you have to do is click on send right over here. And you can share this your form via email, link, or embed it on a website. Here is the default one, which is via email. All you have to do is to enter the email address that you would like to send it to right over here. And click on send. Now, as you can see, we have now successfully sent our Google Forms to the Gmail that we have previously entered. Now you can also click on link right over here, in which you can directly copy the link of your Google Docs or Google Forms file. You can choose to shorten the URL if you wish. Click on copy, and now if you paste it right here, as you can see, we have now access to the website that we have just published, or the Google Forms that we have just published. Now to embed it on a website, all you have to do is to click on this brackets icon right over here. And now as you can see, you have the HTML code right over here. Now when it comes to collecting responses, you need to ensure that the form is set to accept responses by clicking on the responses tab right over here and clicking on this one. You can also customize settings to limit responses, collect email addresses, and more. Now, when it comes to viewing and analyzing responses, as you can see right here, I have a waiting response, which is the email that we sent our Google Forms to earlier. You can see a summary of responses, view individual responses, or open the data in Google Sheets for more detailed analysis, in which you can do by clicking on Link to Sheets right over here, clicking on Create. And now as you can see, we have a more in-depth view of our responses on our Google Sheets. Like so. Now that we have covered all of the features and functions of Google Forms, here are some of the tips and best practices when it comes to using Google Forms. The first one is you want to keep it simple. Make your questions clear and concise so that the students will avoid confusion. Also, use sections to break up long forms into sections to make them easier to navigate. Next, always preview your form before sharing it to ensure that everything looks and functions as expected. And lastly, test your form by filling it out yourself or asking a colleague to do so. And that's it for this tutorial. This tutorial covers the essential steps to create, customize, and share a form using Google Forms. Explore these features further to build effective and professional forms. If you learned something in this video, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. From here, I'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching.